Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. So today we've got the next 6 stages of the 66 Batmobile, and today we're all about electronics and I think the Bat computer as well. As well as our parts, we did get one of our free gifts, so we've got this nice snazzy little hat. Now, obviously, if you want to get this for yourself, there will be links in the description. If it's still available, I don't know, but just check it out below. You'll soon find out whether it's available in your territory or not. Now, as I said, electronics and the Bat computer. With the electronics, obviously, all the stock electronics are going to be put in this. But I have just seen a little video from the Master of Mods, Mlike Lane. Now, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to play it for you in a second. But just the teaser trailer makes you want more. So I really can't wait to see what Mike has up his sleeve for this vehicle. So as I say, I'm going to play the trailer for you now and see what you think. It's only a tiny trailer and it doesn't really give you any information, but it certainly builds up the anticipation.
In a world where heroes are defined by their machines, one team, fueled by passion, stand as a beacon of hope to bring this legend to life.
Right, so as I said, doesn't really give much away, but there's clearly something coming from Mike soon. Now, obviously, today, as I said, we're going to be doing electronics. I am going to wire it all up. I am going to make sure it works, etc. But there might be a Mlike Lane mod in the future for this vehicle. So, for now, let's get into it. Let's get building.
Welcome to the workshop. Tools are ready to play. We're gonna build something great, starting here today. Piece by piece we go now.
Right, so we are going to kick off with issue 57. We have got another one of these again, and I'll just quickly run through this again. So all the tabs. So, number 1 folds in there. You got 2, number 2, they fold in like that, and then number 3 just pushes all the way through until it tucks under that first tab. And we have our box. So put that to one side. I think this is our 4th one now. So we do have stickers as we did before. We can label that up. So 57. I haven't actually looked what we're doing in this, apart from I know we had a box full of electronics. And looks like we've got some cables. So it does look like we're just running cables out this way. Now it looks like they've got some connectors just here, so presumably we're going to run the cables all under the chassis, and then when it comes to doing the bodywork, etc., we're going to be splitting off these cables here. Probably similar to how the Knight Rider car was kit. So again, got a split just there as well. So that'd be my guess that these ones will go up into the body, and that's why we've got a split just there. In fact, that'll probably be the turbo booster. No. Afterburner LED, yep. So we'll end up with something that looks like that. So we're just running cables for this one. What I will do, because I think it is pretty much all cables, have a quick look at the back here. Yep. I'll run you through all the magazines that have got cables, and we'll group them together, I think. So more cables. We do have these little plastic stands as well. I'm surprised we didn't get those a lot earlier before we put the wheels on. But as you can see, you can support your vehicle using that. I know I did a couple of videos ago say about how to support the vehicle if you don't have those sort of stands, including just putting it on top of a paint pot. So obviously they have now supplied those little stands as well. 59 looks to be more wiring, so we'll move on to 59 as well. Just flick through. Yep, so we've got wiring here. It does look like we've got the start of the back computer as well. But at this point, it looks like we've got all the electrics, and we're going to be testing that. There we go. We've got a little list of what all of the buttons do as well. So that's all the electrics, so we'll get all those three done. Right, so as you can see, got all the parts laid out. So we've got 57, 58 and 59. And just going to bring the car over. And it's a circuit board that we're really interested in on this one. So if I just move 58 and 59 to one side for a moment, pull the car a little bit better into shot. And I'll start off with these little stands, just to show you them. So that's from 57, and we had 2 in 58. And quite simply, all they'll do is tuck under the sides of the car like that. And they'll tuck under both sides just to raise it up so it's not on its wheels. So just taking advantage of the chassis rails that are underneath. And then obviously that means you can push down on this without it affecting the wheels. As you can see, they're free to rotate, so they're not on the ground anymore. For the minute, I'll leave them on the stands, just while we're pushing things into this circuit board. But again, if you're careful, you're not going to be really pushing down on these to actually get this to go into place. So we'll get these wires in place. Now, they are all labelled, and we are going to start off with the one labelled G. So we'll just get this untwisted. So this is the front left signal, and as I said, is labelled G. So it's going to go into socket G on the board here. And just push that one in, like so. And we'll just have it trailing off this way for now. And there's that connector in there that I said about earlier. Now, you can see here the colour of the wires are the same. We've got G on there, but we don't have any label there. So it's probably going to be a case of connecting up the correct coloured wires when we come to assemble this. Next up, we're going to use cable H. Again, just untwist it. And this is the front right turn signal, apparently. And that's going to go into socket H, which is just here. Now, although this is the front right, which I'd assume it will go off this way eventually, the instructions are showing it in this position at the moment. So I will just leave it like that. Obviously, with them like this at the moment, they're all going to go all over the place anyway. We got one last cable in the pack. And again, just going to unravel it. And this is cable J. I believe this is the afterburner. So I'll just plug that one into J on the board. And they do go in really easy, so you're not really shoving these down. So with those blocks, it's not really required. And obviously with the afterburner, that's going to go off in this direction. that was all there is to do in 57. So we'll move swiftly on to 58. And we're going to start off with cable M. So, got that untwisted. This is cable M, as I said, and this is the detector scope LED, apparently. Now, it is M, I promise you that. However, on the board here, it does show a W, or it might be an upside down M. Up to you to decide. But it goes into that one there, above B. And this cable is going to go across this way. Again, it's just going to go where it wants. So, not too worried about where the cable's going at the moment. Next, we have our rear left turn signal. And this one is labelled E. And you guessed it, it's going into socket E, which is this one, last one in the middle. So this is rear left turn signal, so it's obviously going to go off that sort of direction. And then that leaves us with this one, which is the rear right turn signal. Right, got that untwisted, and this cable is F. So that's going into the last one at the top here. And as I said, this is the rear right one, so it's going to go off in this direction. Now, move on to issue 59. The first stage of 59 is to do the sign for the back computer. I'll do that afterwards. I'll do the electrics first and I'll finish those off. So we're going to need cable I. And some of these cables are really well twisted together. It takes forever to untwist them. Right, so that's untwisted. This is the rear rear lights. And interestingly enough, there's no connector on those. So these must stay with the chassis, surely. So that's cable I. I'm going to plug that into there. And they're obviously going to go off in that sort of direction. K is obviously the last socket on the board. So we'll get that one plugged in as well. So we have that like that. And that's obviously going off to the front for the instruments. And now we're asked to secure some of these cables down. I'll just bring over the magazine and you can see the illustration there. Right, so it still looks a mess, I know, but we've taped down the wires that we've been asked to. So we've got these ones, which are the switch, the battery box, and cable K, all taped down here. Pretty much all the front cables are going up here. So that's the headlights, front, left and right indicators, and I believe the detector scope, which I think that one is. So all those are going that way. We haven't been asked to tape down any of these cables that go towards the back, apart from this one, which is cable J, which is the green and black one, which I think is the afterburner. None of the others we've been asked to tape down. I've put them all squished up here at the minute, just so we can do this test. The only other thing we need to do is bring over this piece, which we haven't seen for quite some time. And we just need to plug that into this black and grey cable, like so. And I'm just going to rest that on top there. And basically, we just need to go through and just do a test of the electrics. So we'll start off with number one, which is the power switch on off effects. Now, obviously, if you had things on and off, on already, then that will turn it off. I don't think it does an on as such, so it's not like an all on, which is a bit of a pity, because that would have probably been quite good to have everything turn on at the same time. But you've got volume keys, so you can change the volume. And then we have this one, which is going to be the engine start. And with that, we have the afterburner light coming on. So we'll turn that off. This one in the middle does nothing. Then we've got the horn. And then we have the lights. So turn those on. And you can see this is the instrument cluster light. And we have the front headlights. And we have the rear lights turning on. Hopefully you can just about see. And then we've got the dome light, which flashes away. We have the detector scope, which is this one. And you can see that's flashing away. We have the front left indicator, left indicators, front and rear. So you can see those flashing and make sounds as well. Switch it to the other side, and we've got those like that. We don't have a hazard function like we do on the Skyline, so we can turn that one off. And we have brake lights. You might not be able to tell on camera, but these do get a little bit brighter when you press it. So all things are functioning, which is great. And again, you can just go off and turn everything off, or I believe this one will turn everything off anyway. Yep. But as I say, it won't turn everything on when I press it. So presumably, if I press things, start turning things on, and if I just press that, it'll turn it all off. So that is pretty much all of it up to 59. The final thing we need to do to finish off 59 is this Bat computer. So I'll move the car out to one side, and then we'll look at the rest of the build pack. Right, so last thing to do for this pack is we're just basically going to put the mobile crime computer sign on the top, just there, and we're going to secure it with 2 AP screws. And just get those nice and tight. So we've got the Bat computer starting to look like that. That's all there is to do in that stage. So we move on to issue 60. And this phase will complete the mobile crime computer and fit it to the model. So we've got a screen, some other bits there, lots of screws to go in, a few buttons, and we fit it to the vehicle. So issue 60 looks like this. We'll just pull that piece out first, and that's just going to go on the top here. It's just a push fit. Making sure that is fully pushed down, like that. Next we've got these 2 clear sections, and they're basically going to sit in from the inside, like so. And I'm going to use some AAP screws to secure that in place. And it looks like just 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And that are these silver screws. So that's one in, just going to do the other one exactly the same. So that's both of those in there, like so. Right. Next we have these switches. We just need to cut those off this sprue. 1, 2, 3. 3 black ones. And we have 3 red ones as well. Now, starting from this side, we have a red one. I'm just going to push those in place, like that. And then the next one's going to be black. red, black, red, black. So I'll get all those in place. So that's the last one just in there. Now they do tend to hold themselves in quite well, but if you find they're a bit loose, you can always glue them. Also, you could put a bit of glue from the back in here. Next up, we've got some sort of lights, I guess. These also potentially won't light up, but we have some blue ones, some orange ones, and we've got some silver that also look like LEDs or knobs or something like that. Right, so we only need one of each of these, so we do have a spare if we have a problem or lose one to the carpet monster. So I'll just take one of each of these off. And they're basically just going to go into these holes here. Now there is an order. It's red, orange, silver, blue. And again, they are just going to be a push fit. And finally, blue one going on this side. So we've got those looking like that. So we're now going to be putting this into the vehicle. Now what I would suggest is if you've got any fingerprints in these parts, probably give them a bit of a wipe off, so while you've still got access to that inside section. So bringing over the vehicle, I'm going to move these cables out of the way. We've got 4 points here, which are going to line up with the 4 points there. Just going to sit on like that and secure it from underneath with some AP screws. All I'm going to do is just tip it up on its side. Now I do to remove my tape here, which is holding that fuel line in place. Let's just keep it up and tidy out of the way. So that is now secured in there like that. And that is all there's to do in that stage. Now I'm going to finish this build pack with 61 and 62 combined, because there's very little to do in 61. So flick through this one. And we've got the fuel tank. So we're just putting that on there. And that is it. So that is the entire assembly step for 61. And 62. Again, final flick through. You can see we've got the completion of the fuel tank and installing it. So, and we'll be able to tidy up that fuel line that I've got there as well. And we have that at the end of it. So these are our parts for issue 61. And quite simply, 61 is just a case of that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So we're going to move on to 62. And in pack 62, we have these parts. And we're going to start off with this piece going on there that way around. I'm going to secure that with some AP screws. We've got 4 of these going in. So that's our fuel tank looking like that. Now this is where we need the vehicle, and we're going to need it upside down. So just brought over the mat so that we can obviously protect the engine, and now we also have the back computer there as well. So we don't want to break any of that. So place it down gently like that. Now obviously making sure not to trap any cables. This is just going to sit in there like so. And we have these 2 straps, which are metal, and they're basically just going to sit over the top like that and like that. We're going to secure that in place with 2 AM screws in each of those. Now we are going into metal, so I have just dipped this into a little bit of oil to help the screws bite in and screw themselves into that metalwork. That's the last one going in there. And then we have our fuel line, and that's just going to plug into the little nipple you see on the end there. Now, I might just put a tiny amount of glue on there because it's not a very tight fit. So that's on there. And it is the cable that's coming from the middle. We do have another cable here, which might have come off from the brake there. So I'm going to glue that one in place as well. But that is all there is to do in that stage. And all there is to do in that build pack. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button below and give us a massive thumbs up. So that's the Batmobile all powered up, looking absolutely brilliant. I say looking absolutely brilliant. It looked brilliant before. We haven't really done anything cosmetically wise to the machine. Obviously, we've added in a load of spaghetti, which obviously has given us the benefit that we've tested all the electronics and they are all working, which is brilliant. Little cosmetic touches that we have added. Obviously, we've added this back computer at the back here, and we've also added the fuel tank underneath. So a couple of little details we have added in, but primarily it was all electronics and spaghetti today. So with this being pretty much a full rolling chassis now, I can only assume now we're going to be moving on to the interior and the exterior body panels, which is really, really exciting. Probably not as exciting as what Mike's got up his sleeve with his Bat circuit. Now, I'll put a link in the description below and also up on screen here, and you can check that out. If you follow that, you'll find a little form where you can put in your name and your email address, and you'll be kept up to date with progress on the Bat circuit, and you'll be one of the first to know when it's actually available. I certainly cannot wait to see what Mike has done with that. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think. If you've seen the Knight Rider video of the Ultimate Electronic Kit, then it's pretty fantastic. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll pop a card up in the corner here, and you can go check that out and see what Mike is capable of. It's absolutely fantastic. If you want to see how this progresses or anything else that goes on in the workshop, do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell for notifications. That way you'll know when I release new videos. And speaking of new videos and upcoming videos, tonight, hopefully, I'll be doing a live stream, and it'll be the first of a regular live stream. Now, the last live stream that I really did was a 4.5 hour build of the Lego Orca. Now, I am kicking off this Tuesday night live stream, and I'm calling it Trial Tuesdays. Now, it's going to be hopefully every Tuesday in February, and if it's successful, it'll be carrying on for the rest of the year as well. And I'm going to kick off Trial Tuesdays with more Lego. I've got the Lego Orient Express here. It's 2,500 pieces. It's going to kick off at about 8 o'clock tonight until about 9ish, depending on what I'm doing and what I'm in the middle of. But yeah, 8 o'clock UK time. Do come along and check it out. As I say, Trial Tuesdays, so to try and work out how live stream is going to work on a regular basis, and just see how my kit and equipment that I've got actually handles doing live stream, and hopefully it'll all go well. So as I say, I am coining it Trial Tuesdays, so that will be going on for a little while. So do check me out live, hopefully later on tonight. And last thing to say is, it wasn't really lost on me that I've done obviously the Batmobile build, which is a DC product, and I've been wearing a Marvel t-shirt all the time. But that is how I roll. If you want to see more continuity errors like this, please do remember to hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Cheers.